welcome to
House of Whimsical Terror.
I'm Esther.
I'm Mary.
And we're coming to you today from Tucson, Arizona.
And we're telling real stories of the fantastical.
All of our stories are true or told to us as true.
And occasionally we alter the names to protect privacy.
And we do the same sometimes for the places.
Mm-hmm.
Today's story is Haunted College Part 3.
Yeah.
Woo! Yes, and we have wonderful Kim with us.
Yes,
again.
we do.
Hi, everybody.
And, of course, the Doberman, who sometimes makes noise in the background.
That's true.
But we don't care because we love him.
Yeah.
But if
He's
yours
pretty cute.
weird noises, probably him.
It's most likely him.
It's
or
comforting.
Ghosts. I don't
Could
know.
be anything.
You pick.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to be talking about the theater part of the haunted college that we attended. I was there for a year. Kim was there for 4 years, got her bachelor's degree
I
in
vacationed there
theater.
a lot.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Mary was there plenty.
Yeah.
You were there with us.
Yes.
You were actually before I was ever there.
But
We
you
visited.
guys also both have degrees in theater.
We
Yes.
do now. Yes.
We
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
That we do.
Yeah.
That we do.
And I'm so surprised that you both were able to stay at the College of Santa Fe because
made it even more
it's
interesting.
incredibly haunted.
Yeah.
It is. It's
So,
yeah.
if you guys listen to our part 1 and part 2, then you'll know the history of the campus and the history of their time there. So,
Yeah. Bits of the history of it,
yeah.
and it is haunted, and as you said, theater.
Yes, and we
Yeah.
wanted Kim to talk a little bit about some of the acting processes, and not everybody is the same or practices the same process, but Kim and I have grown up in a particular tradition, and Kim's going to tell you about part of that.
Yeah. So a little bit about it was what I got from a specific class is when you're ready, you're taking on this role, whoever it is and whatever it is, and you have to be, as an actor, you have to be grounded.
Mm-hmm.
And to be grounded, you do body work. And to
Right.
do body work, your feet are on the ground, and you summon energy from the ground up through your body.
Mm-hmm.
And it can come up and it can go back down, but you are summoning that energy.
Mm-hmm.
And you breathe it in and then you let it out, and it comes out in the character. Now, the word summon in terms of spirits and energy is it's an intense description, an intense word.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I think of theaters, and I've heard so many of them haunted in some way, this theater was a haunted space.
Definitely.
Right.
And energies there were interesting, let's say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And intense. And there's other people, and there's people that you guys went to school with it. I'm certain that they all have stories as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you could be on that campus and not have them, but particularly in the theater, which is such really an attraction for spirit. And
Most theaters are haunted, it seems.
Yeah.
Like everyone has a story, and I wonder if it's just all the emotion and all the either the opportunity for maybe interactions with spirits, because you're so open to
right.
interacting.
yeah, right? Yeah, and
Yeah.
open. Yeah, and the opening, and then the summoning. And what have you
Right.
summoned?
Right.
What have you summoned?
Because it may be your character, and it may be other things.
Right.
Yeah.
It could be. Yeah, you never know what's
Yeah.
going to come out.
Right. And
Yes.
I spent a lot of time on the campus visiting with
Yes.
y'all and others. But I only have like one theater story. And of course I have an aversion to seeing ghosts, so there's that. So I'm sure that I didn't want to spend a lot of time at the theater when it wasn't occupied by other
Yes.
by actors.
And this is the Greer
And-
Garson Theater we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Greer Garson Theater.
So I was visiting, and I was with my friend Dusty, and she said it was a dark night in Santa Fe, and she said, let's go up on the roof of the theater and look at the stars. And I was like, okay, that would be great, except the theater is undoubtedly locked because it's nighttime. And she said, maybe. And I thought, oh boy. And I was like, okay, well, it's going to be locked. And so we wander down there, and she grabs the door handle, and it opens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then she looks at me with that kind of, playful grin of, are you going to come in here, right? And I was like, okay, all right. So we go into the theater, and the door closes, and it's just dark, except for like the ghost light. I think it's on the stage, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every theater has what's called a ghost light, and it's just always on.
It's like a tiny night light.
Yeah, when no one is in the theater, it's usually just on a pole in the center of the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's called a ghost light.
Yeah, and so that we could see that, and then she like whips out her lighter because we were younger and we were wild and we were smokers.
Who needs a flashlight?
Because I got a lighter in a highly combustible environment, which is really a scary story in itself. But she whipped out her lighter, and we start making our way through this dark theater that has a history of hauntings. Might I add? So we're working through getting to the ladder that goes to the roof, and it's like,
which is through the light and the sound
booth.
and the booths, and they're
Yeah.
like they're about 4 different stories to get to the
I think
top
so.
or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was far from
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just gotta get out that trap door. There's like a trap door that went
Yeah.
to the right. So we get up there and we open the trap door and we get on the roof and close the door, and the sky is just beautiful, right? Because the sky is stunning in New Mexico anyway, and then it really, truly enchanting, if I may.
Land of
The
enchantment.
land of enchantment.
Aye.
So we're kind of hanging out, and we were watching the stars, and then we're like, okay, well, we smoked a bunch of cigarettes. Let's go downstairs. Let's go down. And there's like no one out. It's like really, it's very dark and but beautiful but serene. And so we open the hatch to go down this lasder through the theater, and the lights are on in the theater.
Mm-mm.
And we look at each other, and Dusty gives me that grin again, like, oh my god,
She knows it's
because
haunted.
she knows, yeah. And I push the door closed. We push the door closed, and so we're like, let's just stay up here a little while. So we stayed, a little bit longer, and then when I think I felt courageous enough, I opened the hatch again to the theater, and it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
And we went down that ladder, and with her little lighter, back through the theater, out the door, and we didn't see anyone come from around. I mean, we were on the roof, so we had a pretty good view of everything.
Yeah, you can see all around.
Yes,
you can see
and
everything.
we didn't see anyone come.
Oh.
And I never went back on the roof of the theater again, I might add. That was enough excitement for my lifetime.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But it was such a strong indicator to me of the inexplicable, as I said earlier, things that occurred both in the theater and on the campus. And I was like, I'm good.
I'm good. Don't need to go back there.
I don't need to go back there in the dark ever again. But it was really, I mean, it was creepy. It was scary. And and I know you guys have many theater stories.
Yeah, the roof. I don't remember. It mustn't have been one of you, but someone telling a story of being on the roof. Maybe it was one of you. Being up on the roof in the daytime and looking down and everything being different, like from a different time period. Like looking down.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I don't remember who
No.
told me that.
Oh,
It
I
didn't happen
wonder-
to me either,
Oh,
but
I wonder who that
someone
was.
told me the story of going up on the roof. I thought one of you was going to tell
No.
that story, but I've heard yours and
Ooh.
you just told yours, so I
No,
thought.
if that occurred, I would still probably be on the roof.
Yeah, I'm trying to get down to the
Yeah.
other time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man, it's a
but there was supposed to be a woman who haunted the
yes.
theater.
Yes. So the Greer Garson Theater, in that, Greer Garson did the play, Madwoman of
Shio.
And there was in that area above, so you climbed up through the lighting booth, and you get into the upper area where there's all of the catwalks, and if you go beyond the catwalks, there's the edges of the building, which are all cement, and the walls kind of lean in on you on the top of the architecture, and you can walk all the way around there and get to a spot where it's all dark, of course. Hope you have a flashlight or a lighter.
A lighter.
And you get to the end of the way to go around, because it ends at a point, and there is a chair from the Madwoman of Shio. And it is said that at that chair, if you were there, I suppose at night, probably, I don't know, in the daytime there maybe some light came in. Where from, I don't know, but that if you got there at certain times, someone would be in that chair.
I've heard that over and over again about that theater.
Yeah, and I remember, I don't remember seeing anybody in the chair, but I remember going in there twice, and again my freshman year, going in there twice, and the second time it looked like there was light around that chair or something, and there's no light up there. There are in those little areas on the catwalks. There's lots of lights that come on when the lighting designer decides they can come on, but there was no light, and why the chair was over there at the end of the walk, God knows, and God's not, she ain't telling. So I just remember seeing that, and people were like, okay, we got to get out of here, and we tried to, you can't run because you'll smack your head, because it's a straight wall and then a leaning wall, and you kind of have to like duck down and kind of just get through as fast as you can. And that was,
That's terrifying.
But it's in that upper area. Well, in all of the theater, there's different energy. And
yeah, we did a show. Kim and I did a show once, or worked on a show. I was the assistant stage manager, and Kim ran one of the spots in a thing called a cove. So the coves in this theater were up kind of next to the actual stage, not backstage, but on the stage. You could look down and see, the actors and whatnot. And for some reason, the spirits did not like this show. They sabotaged it like nobody's business. Like, so many things happened. I fainted during rehearsal once.
Wow.
It was just bizarre. Other things happened. Like, there were just little things that would happen here or there. The woman who was the stage manager was top notch. Like, she was a perfectionist. She was a good friend of Kim's, and she was, a taskmaster. It was really, really difficult working for her, but I learned a lot. And definitely she was like,
she was good.
All of her T's were crossed and her I's were dotted about every single tiny detail. So, she's stage managing the show, so everything's double, triple, quadruple checked and rechecked, and checklists and all the things. And things kept happening anyway. Like, there would be on my side of stage, so a stage manager was over stage right, I was stage left, and we would check that all of the plugs were the cables were plugged in and secured, and we would do that like multiple times before the actors got there, after the actors and the rest of the crew got there, and then all the time in between. We're just before the show started. Every night there were cables that would come undone and lights that just wouldn't come on because of it, because there was a lot of really specialty lighting in this show. There was one where the actor was up like on a billboard where a light shines down on the billboard. We had checked that light repeatedly just for safety situations, and at least once, I want to say twice, it came disconnected, and one night it hit him hard in the head. Like,
That's right. It fell.
Another time, there was the thing that held the billboard sign up was
right.
we, came in on, off of a
line.
batten on,
Yeah.
and it was checked and double checked with, the proper knots and everything. And sure enough, one night, like a guillotine, it came down and just one side of it swiped and nearly hit, or maybe did hit one of the actors.
I can't remember if it hit him or not, but it was close enough.
Yeah, and it just
Wow.
like a blade came down, like it was terrifying. And that had been checked by me, had been checked by the stage manager, been checked by other people. In fact, they were so worried about the production that they got the technical director from Santa Fe Opera. Remember, Drew Field
Yeah.
came, and they had him on site double checking things, and things are still going wrong.
Yeah.
So that was like a huge embarrassment to have someone come from outside
Right.
of the Greer Garson
Yeah.
Theater to
Yeah. When we're supposed to know what we're doing because we're being taught.
yeah, and everyone's very professional. Like we took our jobs very seriously.
Right?
There was one day where I was setting some things up. It was before the show was ready to open, but we had already moved into the big theater, into the Greer Garson from the rehearsal hall, and I had gone up into one of the coves, cove stage left, and you had to go up these wooden ladders,
Yeah.
that were built in, and then there would be like one wooden platform, and then you go up another wooden ladder to a second wooden platform. I don't know if there were more than two, but they went way up high. And I had the weirdest thing happen, like it's never happened before or since. I was checking everything there, making sure things were connected, the light was where it was supposed to be, all of the things. And I looked down on the stage, I don't even know why, and I froze. Like I couldn't move. And I had the weirdest feeling that I was going to be there like that forever. Like I was thinking to myself, I'm in this place and it will never change. It will never end. And I was in a panic, but inside, but I couldn't move outside.
Oh, God.
And I don't know how long I was there, just in that moment of no one's going to know I'm in the coves for how long. Like no one knows I went up there checking things, as there were a million other things to check on the stage, backstage, in the shop. And I suddenly felt someone tug my arm, and I looked down. It was our friend Albert.
Yes.
I don't know why he was there. He wasn't working on the show that I know of. But he looked at me and he said, "You need to come down now. Follow me down." And he didn't stop touching my elbow the whole way down, which had to be difficult because we were going down a ladder. And we got to the outside, and he goes, "You're okay?" And I said, "Yes." He took off. How did he know?
Wow.
Yeah. He was a rescuer.
Yeah, he was.
You know?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
So we had another friend, Gigi, who was running a spot. And Kim, you were running a spot.
She was in the left, the stage left, and I was stage right.
Right.
So, yeah.
And tell us what happened.
So we were running spotlights, and there was a point when one of the main characters is out, and he's a pianist, and he's doing he's a showman, and he's doing his scenes, and we each had a spot where we switch on spotlight, follow, and it's all focused. We follow, but there weren't that many, but we were stuck up there because our main, not you, not the assistant, but the main stage manager said, "You stay up there, you do not come down. You can come down during intermission." So we stay up there, and I'm up in my area, and I start to feel like something's above me. So there was the first platform, and then there's the second, and above that is the catwalk, a main catwalk, and then you can go to all the other catwalks where you can get all the other lighting and put in. And I keep looking up at the catwalk, and I keep thinking, something's up there, and it feels, you know, there's a feeling you feel like somebody is waiting. They want to hurt you. They want to do something to you, and they are not. It's not a benevolent little friend there, you know. And it just started to freak me out, and I started to chill. I started to get chilled, and I was like, I do not have anything for a while. I'm gonna go, and I really fast. I get down, and I get down to the there's a little hole that you come out of.
Yeah.
It is
Literally a hole.
It is like a hole in the wall, and you crawl out of the hole in the wall. It's like the Bilbo Baggins, and you coming out, and our stage manager friend is there on my side, and you, Esther, are there on the stage left, and our stage manager goes, I don't know if she notified, or if you notified her or what, but she's like, and they're whispering and they're talking into these earphones, and then she comes over to me and she's like, you back up there, get back up there, and get back up there, you know, and it's whispering as loud as she can, and I'm like, wow, and I was scared to death. And why was I scared to death? Because of what happened to me. And what happened on the other side of the stage, Esther?
At the exact same time that Kim comes like shooting out of her little hobbit hole, Gigi on my side of the stage, who was supposed to be staying in hers, came out at the exact same time. And she said, I am not. She goes, I'm not. I said, you have to go back. She says, I'm not going back up there. There's something up there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something up there. And there was, you know, we did go back. And we survived, because she does live in. She's up in Santa Fe now, so we're good. We survived, but but there's more of the haunting.
Yeah. And something happened. I think when the stage manager stopped forcing you to stay up there, something happened. She had a monitor backstage where you could see the stage backstage, so she could call cues and kind of monitor what was going on. And at one point on one night, it just started crackling. And I don't remember what she said, but there was something else looking back at her that wasn't supposed to be there, and it wasn't the stage where the camera was focused.
Yeah.
And that's when she finally started to, I believe, because she was a huge skeptic, and we'll tell a story about her, I think coming up in 2 weeks from now. We're going to tell a story about her. But she was definitely a skeptic, and she told me, she goes, whatever that was terrifying. And she stopped making them stay up there. He had to be up there for the cues, but she didn't make them stay in those places.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Those stories.
So.
Yeah. So that is a story of the beginning parts of what we're going to talk about. That theater was so haunted, and so many other things happened while we were there. We can't even remember most of them. It's funny, we were sitting here talking and we're like, oh, and then that, like before we started recording, we're like, oh, I forgot about that. Oh, and I forgot about that. So probably going to be a bunch of things like, oh, I should have said that during the episode. Yeah. But I forgot.
So they'll have to stay tuned for the theater part 2, which is coming up.
Which is actually college part 4.
Part 4.
Theater part 2, college part 4. Remember the numbers.
Yeah. It's very complex, our operation here at House of Women's
All of these things are happening in the College of Santa Fe. So.
Yes, they are. And for today, I want to thank all of you, both of you, for telling your stories. I was young, I was wild, and I only had one story.
I love that story.
Perhaps the only one I can remember.
That's one of my favorite stories, though.
And I want to thank everyone who's listening. We love our listeners. Thank you so much. And we hope that you're having a fabulously spooky season. And we hope that you'll come back and listen to more stories and share them with your friends. But for now, so long, good friends. Until next time when we meet.
Back at
the house.